Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hey Boo. I'm Jackie, and that's Chrissy, the Listen Queen, and Howard from Paranormal Swamp Investigation.
Gorilla Nipples, aka Fight the Power.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the Idaho murders. I'm so interested in it because I've been reading up every time something comes out about it. I've just been reading up on it, and it's kind of interesting to me. I don't know why. It's like every time I turn my phone on, it's right there, and the police didn't even give out that much information at first. It's like they didn't know who did it, why, but four college students got murdered. Um, Chrissy, you know their names again? I'm
Yeah.
not good at saying their
The
names.
murder names, the murder victims. Yeah, give me half a second. Scan back up. Um, yeah. So police responded to the report of an unconscious person they had received at 11:58 a.m. Sunday, November 13th. Members of Moscow Police Department found four University Idaho students dead on the second and third floor of that home. Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Zaina Kernoodle, and Ethan Chapin. Now, Ethan didn't live there with the three, but he was dating who was it? Kernoodle.
Yes. So those were the four ones that got murdered, and so they by DNA and cell phone tracings, they tracked them down. They tracked him down, and they caught him. Which his name was
Brian.
Brian Koberger, and he was studying criminology. I think that's how you say it, right? Criminology,
Yes.
which that means what? The study of murders.
Criminology is basically a study of police detective and the mind of people who commit crimes.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, because he even went on Reddit and asked questions like, You like how you not get caught. It was some questions he asked on Reddit. I didn't get it, but I mean, there's somebody who's studying that. That's you know, and then go do it. I know he was the like people were like he didn't have a good childhood. I mean, I ain't gonna say childhood, but like the people like girls and people used to make fun of him and stuff like that, and he was like antisocial, which means he wasn't really out there. So I guess with all that, it just built up inside of him. But in my opinion, why would he pick those four? Because I don't think he knew them.
I
Or
mean,
that house. But he was casing it out in September. Or
that would be trying to delve into the mind of a killer. And I mean, they pay people big money to do that because studying why they do what they do is an art in and of itself. Because for what one murderer may use, another one. Jason just turned on his phone. Sorry, I was hearing myself. Um, so what one murderer may use as why he chooses his victim, another one doesn't. And you're right. So you hit on the fact that so he was antisocial. He didn't have many friends. He the people that surrounded him treated him poorly. So all three of those things combined together could be one of the main reasons that he became or chose to be a killer.
yeah.
Um,
I'm going to play devil's advocate tonight on this. And
here
I
we
said
go.
this in the beginning. Yeah.
Here we go.
Now, just because he's a loner doesn't mean jack shit in my world. There's a lot of people out there that are loners. And just because I'm a loner doesn't mean I'm a serial killer.
No, and I did not say that, nor did I imply that. Actually, if you listen to what I said
Go
those
ahead.
three things combined could have been a big reason why he became a killer
He
or
is not as how you know he's a serial killer.
Because they
He's
if you
just a
caught him.
sus,
They got
if
his
you
he's just a
feel
fingerprint.
suspect.
text
Okay, he could have been banging one of the girls in the
text
dorm.
textbook.
No.
Okay. So he hasn't been convicted. So let's just put this into a cup right here, okay? So let's
Okay.
say that he had been convicted. Okay? So we'll set that argument to the side because I can read it right across Howard's face that he's just dying to get me into a freaking debate and argument and make me cuss on this show. But so let's take this to the side. He's guilty. Now,
He
No,
don't
he's
is.
get me
not.
wrong, people are
Yes, he
innocent until
is.
proven guilty in a court of law. I firmly believe that. Let's say that he was convicted, Howard. Okay.
Let's say
So
he was convicted, but he's not convicted.
I didn't say he
He
was
is
convicted.
charged with 4 counts of murder. They got him.
And if you've killed more than two, that's a
How do you
serial
know?
killer.
Did you see him in the apartment?
Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Did I don't even know what to do. Well, yeah, I do know what he looks like because I saw a picture of him being pulled
I
over
seen a
in
picture of him too.
Indiana. But that's not the point. That's not the point. You show me a serial killer out there that was not introverted and non social and had some sort of messed up childhood.
Most of them do.
Exactly, which is the whole point.
And usually they
Well,
take it.
you just described about 97% of the United States.
Bull crap. Bull crap. Bull crap. Not all three of
Everybody,
those. Maybe one or two, but not all three.
I'm going to say this.
He's
I say it
guilty.
like,
Only thing I gotta say is that Brian is guilty
how you know he's guilty?
because they got his fingerprint at the scene. The girl described him.
Again, he could have been dating one of the girls. Now, if you're going to sit back and sit there and say,
He
oh, no, he wasn't dating one of them, that's BS because women do that shit all the time. It's not
they
just
already
women,
know
but
what
men
happened.
also. go date women and date men, and they don't tell anybody else who they dating because hey, it's on the DL. You know, they don't want everybody to know
Did
what
you
they do.
say the DL?
The DL, the down low, baby,
I know
down
what
low.
DL means, but come on. I
You
cannot.
don't know. You don't know. And then I seen a thing where they said he was walking around with surgical gloves and outside the place, you know, a couple of times. Well, so what? Was it Willy Wonka did it?
I got you, Willy Wonka.
How many Oompa Loompas did he kill?
I cannot. I
This is
didn't
his
say that
this is his
just
first time doing it, and he was slappy at it. I think because I think the FBI and the police did an awesome job in catching him. They tracked him all the way to his house, which was in the Poconos and some in the mountains
okay.
in Washington, I think.
We're gonna show a picture. Share.
Look, girl power. Yeah, that's him.
That is the suspect that has been charged in these 4 murders
Yes.
of the Idaho University students.
So what he was studying was to be somebody that's familiar with crime scenes and all that, right?
Yeah, criminologist. And I got news for you. As for a criminologist, when you go into law enforcement, you also study criminology. You also become a criminologist also.
Well, he did. I think
So why was he saying he might have wanted to be a cop?
he did. He put in for it.
So now that's against him. He's got a mark against him because he was studying to be a criminologist.
Oh my good God.
I am playing devil's advocate. I am going to poke holes into this.
I cannot.
But
Okay,
who
well
else?
here's the problem, Mr. Petrie Nipples, aka Fight the Power. We don't have all the information that the police do. So we don't know all the evidence that they have against him. So we can't thoroughly debate the entire topic because it hasn't even gone to trial yet.
That's right. And watch it going to be thrown out. He's going to be found innocent. It's because of these loopholes that I am presenting this evening on this show.
You have not presented any logical loophole that would get him out of a quadruple murder
I am giving
charge.
and it has to be benefit of the doubt.
Howard, you have not given any information that would say that
The information that they have given, I can throw doubt on it.
You know what? Hold that thought because I'm going to go back to the dang article that I was just on and I'm going to see how much information we have before I come through the screen and choke you.
Y'all look. It's about.
I cannot.
Yeah, no shit, Chad. OJ got off.
OJ had the dream team.
What's so dreamy about it?
All the high profile attorneys that represented him, I think all but one is dead now. But if you had that kind of backing of attorneys and money and the dream team, you would have got off.
Last time I heard, I thought we lived in America.
Howard, we are not gonna
Hey,
debate the criminal
that
justice
glove
system.
didn't fit him.
Let
I
me
don't
tell
think
you
he did.
I'm
something,
gonna put it
buddy.
all on trial.
Let me
put
tell
it
you
all on
something.
trial.
Innocent people go to prison too.
It is Raymond.
And guilty people get off. So there's that.
Raymond has right there, Raymond. You said
If
it.
the glove doesn't fit,
it's
you
with-
must have quit.
That's
It's
right.
true. That's how he got free.
You know what? That glove fit Kato Caitlin, and he was the one who freaking helped OJ. And I don't care what anybody says.
Casey Anthony
That's
too.
what happened.
I watched OJ Simpson trial and I watched Casey Anthony's trial too. And you would think they did it, but they didn't just
Casey
didn't have
Anthony
enough
didn't
ink.
have the dream team. She had one, no,
I just
two
seen, I just
attorneys,
seen it. I just seen
two
that her
attorneys, and
whole
she
thing.
was sleeping with one of them.
The lawyer.
I watched it. They have a thing with it was on who was it? Is it Hulu? One of them streaming channels with the Casey Anthony story, and it's updated. And why she lied and why what she did, what she did.
Casey Anthony didn't get off.
Yes, she
Yes, she
did.
did.
Who was it that's in? Wait a minute. Who's Casey Anthony?
That's the one with the baby, with the 3-year-old that they couldn't find for months, and they finally found her like not so far away from their house.
She killed her
Yeah.
daughter because she was dating that dude, right?
She had a
Yeah.
alternative lifestyle. She wanted to party. She wanted to do everything. Yeah, that's true. Now we live in the United States of Wabash, Indiana.
What?
We don't live in America.
Shut up, Steven.
And then you got Jodi Arias who killed her boyfriend.
If you have one piece of reason of doubt, it has to be thrown out.
There ain't gonna be no doubt for Brian.
I'm giving you all the doubt right now.
How? He had a
How
fingerprint.
he
They
could have been
traced
again. He
the
could have been sleeping with
DNA.
one of the girls. Well, you do some stuff in a room, shit's going to get
He
everywhere.
wasn't even in the house. He broke into their house and
How do
did
you
it.
know he broke in?
That's what they said.
That
Because
I can say that the
they had
walls are green too, but
two
that doesn't mean
a
that's what
boyfriend
it
and
is.
girlfriend downstairs, a boyfriend and girlfriend on the second floor, and I think the two girls on the top floor. And he went into the back door. Either it was unlocked or he broke it, and he just went in there and did that. And they got his fingerprints and they traced the DNA straight to
Okay.
him. They had
Again, if he's
video of
sleeping
the
with one of
car.
them, doesn't mean jack shit.
He was not sleeping with
How do you
none of them.
know?
That's not cool.
I, that's what. Hey, it's a defense attorney mechanism in me. I've got to be defending people.
Yes, but they're okay. You are not a defense attorney. You are just an argumentative butt at this point. So listen,
I'm throwing shadow on it. I'm going to poke holes in everything that they have to present.
you can't poke holes in everything they have to present because we don't even have all that information. We don't have everything that they have to
I'm
give
going off of what this news
attorney
article is telling
for
me
the
that he was
evidence.
walking around.
Well,
He was found.
listen,
He was found several times out in front of their house.
He
He was
was
Listen,
found several
stalking them
times.
for months.
listen.
He could have been going to get the booty call. You don't know.
Oh my God! Really?
It is called discovery. We don't even have that yet. That's when the prosecuting attorney gives the information to the defense attorney of all the evidence that they have against him. We don't have that in hand.
Okay, so they
So
must
we
have
can't
enough, but they had to
appropriate.
lock him up. They must have had enough, so they had to lock him up. They have to present that much out there, and from what they're presenting, it ain't enough to me.
Do you even know what it is?
Yeah, I've already read it.
Tell me what's in the arrest affidavit.
Oh, the arrest? No, what the stuff
What's
that
in
they
the
saying?
arrest affidavit? Because that will list the evidence that gave them the right to accuse him of quadruple murder. If you don't have that, then you need to just zip your lips.
No, it's saying right here. It's saying right here.
This.
You let me talk about it first.
Okay, go on. Have at it.
In one instance, prior to Koberger's arrest, authorities observed him leaving his family home around 4 a.m. and putting trash bags in the neighbor's garbage bins. According to the source, at that point, agents recovered the garbage can at a trash at the neighbor's house. But they're not telling you what they found in the garbage bags.
Probably DNA.
They don't have to. See, if you knew enough about law, they don't have to
Yeah,
disclose
well
all
then
that
it
information.
could have been my used maxi pads or something. I don't know.
They could have found his DNA because they already got the DNA
Well then
at
yeah, it's
the
coming from
crime
his
scene.
house. He's putting it in his neighbor. Maybe he couldn't afford to pay the garbage bill that month.
What-
Really?
I live in a world where when I pay my water and sewage bill, that includes my garbage pickup.
Not here.
So,
Not
I
here.
mean,
You paid garbage separate.
well, I'm just
Is
saying
that true or not,
maybe.
Jacqueline Crossland Petrie?
What?
I,
Is that true?
What?
We paid a separate garbage bill.
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying not every place is like that, especially in the north.
He was trying not to have his DNA at that house. That's why probably he was throwing the trash in the neighbors' containers.
Oh Lord, 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 Lord.
True.
Even Jason's standing back here saying he did it.
You don't know. That's the judgment of the American people. That's what they. A lot of people out there are going to sit there and
This case,
they're going to hear
th-
what the
this
media is
story
going to
is
say.
so
Once again,
nationwide. They no.
oh yeah, that's just like that show we just watched last night with the what's the name of that freaking it was a six that was arrested for killing that old woman in that hotel. I mean, in her apartment building. Oh shit, what was the name of that freaking show? That was on HBO Max, I believe. I can't think of it. It's just something six. And come to find out, none of them did it. None of them did it. They had gotten acquitted. Two
You're
of
not,
them already served 10 years in prison.
you're not talking about the genus 6, are you?
It might be it.
Is it a Louisiana case?
No, no, no. This is in it
Then
was up
that's not the genus 6.
no, this was in oh shit. I'm trying to think of the name
The
of it.
evidence would be ruined.
But it was six of them. They all three of them and the the movie.
But if you read everything, you still don't know why he did this horrific murder.
Well, we're not going to know why. And even if he's convicted, I don't think I've ever seen too many cases where they admit why they did what they did.
Yeah, that's true. It's just sad that that happened. You know, I
So if
mean,
I'm looking at the timeline right now. So we talked about the 911 call about an unresponsive body found. That was well, if my computer will cooperate. Sunday, November 13th. Then November 15th, the murder weapon. The Moscow Police Department issued a statement saying an edged weapon, such as a knife, was used in these killings.
yes,
No murder weapon has been found, and that was on November 15th.
the one that edge knife is that could be the one that had the fingerprint on it.
November 16th, police press conference. Moscow Police Department holds a press conference about the murders. Police Chief James Fry says it was a targeted attack. We do not have a suspect at this time, and that individual is still out there. November 17th, cause of death. The county coroner's office reports the victims were likely asleep when they were stabbed with a large knife. Some even had defensive wounds, which would imply they woke up during the stabbing. November 18th, tracing the victim's final steps. So it gives an aerial view of where each of the victims were the
Yep,
day before and the day of the murder.
yep,
It says police release an aerial map showing the times and locations where the victims were on the night of November 12th, 2022, and in the early hours of November 13th, 2022. Kaylee Concalves and Madison Mogan were in were at the corner club between 10 p.m., and 1:30 a.m., and then headed to a food truck at 1:40 a.m. Ethan
Right.
Chapin, or Chapin, however it's pronounced, and Zaina Kernoodle attended a Sigma Chi party between 8 and 9 p.m. and were home by 1:45 a.m. November 19th. The hunt for a suspect. Investigators say they do not believe the driver who brought the two victims home, Kaylee and Madison, on the night of the murders was involved in the crimes at all. November 20th. Others cleared. Detectives say they did not believe that the surviving roommates or friends visiting the house at the time of the murders were involved. November 22nd, possible stalker, question mark. Investigators looked extensively at information received about one of the victims, Kaylee, having a stalker. They have not been able to verify or identify a stalker. November 25th, physical evidence. To this date, investigators collected 113 pieces of physical evidence. Howard, 113
Again, she could have been banging any one of them women in that damn room. Even the dude, I don't know. He could be, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
113 pieces. 113 pieces. I'm just saying.
Hey, if I do it right, I'm telling you what, you're gonna find more than 113 pieces in that house. If I do it right, I'm just saying.
Shut the hell up.
If it's gonna be done
show
right.
is now rated NC-17 because I'm fixing to cuss him out like a sailor.
It's okay.
113 pieces of physical evidence and sent it to Idaho State Police Crime Lab. Idaho Governor Brad Little has directed up to $1 million in funds for this ongoing investigation. November 30th, vigil for the students. The University of Idaho holds a vigil in honor of the murdered students. The most important message that we have for you and your families is to spend as much time as possible with those people. Stacy Chapin, the mother of victim Ethan, tells all those who had gathered. December 7th, a potential clue. Police announced they are interested in speaking with the driver of a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, spotted near the crime scene at the time of the murders. Funny side note to this, they were actually, well, this is probably going to go into it. So I'm in Indiana, to anybody watching that doesn't know this. A trooper's body cam captures a white Hyundai Elantra being stopped twice in Indiana for driving violations. The driver is 28-year-old Brian Kohlberger, who is accompanied by his father. They were driving from Washington State University for winter break to the family's home in Pennsylvania. Now, this was on December 15th. December 18th, footage released. Surveillance footage emerges of victims Kaylee and Madison hours before the killings, walking through downtown, discussing a man named Adam. December 20th, the search for the vehicle of interest. Investigators speak to an owner of a Hyundai Elantra located in Eugene, Oregon. The vehicle was involved in a collision and was impounded. The owner is believed to not have any connections to Moscow, Idaho. December 26th through the 29th, reports of FBI involvement. It is reported that an FBI team surveils Adam, the man whom the two victims discussed the night they were murdered a few days before. December 30th, an arrest. Police announced Brian Kohlberger's arrest in Albrightville, Pennsylvania, for the murders of the University Idaho students. He is being charged with burglary and 4 counts of first-degree murder. Kohlberger was a PhD student at Washington State University, which is located roughly 8 miles from the murder scene in Moscow, Idaho. Law enforcement say they were able to use forensic analysis to connect Kohlberger to the crime scene. So there's our answer. They have forensic evidence connecting him to the crime. Howard.
What?
January 3rd, extradition hearing. At a hearing in Pennsylvania, Koberger waives his extradition to Moscow, Idaho. January 4th, suspect arrives in Idaho. So basically, Pennsylvania offered to keep him there, but he said he'd go back to where he was being charged with the crime.
He also said, was there anybody else arrested? So do you think there was somebody with him? But the girl only saw one person.
That I don't know. Koberger is brought to Idaho. The judge issues a gag order, which prohibits officials and others involved in the case from speaking out about it. January 5th, court documents released. Public officials released an affidavit in the case against Brian Koberg. Amongst the findings, a witness claims she saw a figure of 5'10" or taller male, not very muscular, dressed in black clothing and a mask on the night of the murders. She said the masked figure walked toward her, the black sliding glass door, and locked herself in her room. The DNA found on the button snap of the leather knife sheath at the crime scene appears to have a strong match with DNA found in the trash at the Koberger family residence in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. So we got blood at the crime scene matching blood at his home in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yep.
Again.
Shut up, Alex. Move.
Again, loopholes. You done spoke all that shit. You done spoke all that. I'm going to talk now. I'm going to talk now.
No.
I'm going to talk now. You talking about you bringing in the FBI. Ooh, the FBI. In the past, you know the FBI screwed up so bad. I mean,
they did not.
Oh my Lord! Look, don't even get me started on politics of the FBI. But anyway, the FBI is not what the FBI is. But anyway, okay. Now, just because they have a little bit of blood, they have a little bit of blood. Oh, I forgot. She doesn't menstruate. Oh, wait a minute. That don't happen in women nowadays anymore.
No.
Women don't menstruate.
Anyways.
Come on, really.
Investigators believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m.
That's when men will be sneaking in and out of places. That's when I'll be sneaking in and out of places.
Hold your horses. Sassy, calm down. Koberger applied for an internship with Pullman Police Department. In his application essay, he said he had an interest in assisting in rural law enforcement agencies with hose to better collect and analyze technological data
for crime murders.
Exactly.
Okay.
Investigators checked the movements of
and like y'all don't like murder porn. You don't like murder porn. Jack, I know that girl goes crazy for murder porn. So no, that's okay though. I mean, it's just because he has no interest in something that he's guilty.
Howard, we're going over the timeline. Stop it.
I'm poking holes. I'm poking holes.
I'm gonna give you some holes here in about 2 seconds. I cannot. Investigators check the movements of Koberger's phone, and it stops reporting a signal at 2:47 a.m. and appears to turn back on at 4:48 a.m.
Yeah,
okay, so nobody never turned that phone. He was getting busy. He didn't want to be disturbed.
This means that the phone may have been in an area.
Don't even go with me with that, Christy Baggett. Don't even go there with me because how many times you and Jason get and say like you calling me, and I know you turn that phone off. Then we all get busy. So I know. Don't even go there with me with that.
In the middle of sex with him, don't tell me that I
know. How long does sex last for you? How long sex lasts for you? 5 minutes?
What? No.
Well, no. Okay, then that's going to be a little bit of time involved in that.
You didn't let me finish the whole sentence. Are you ready to listen, sir? Are you ready to listen?
I am poking holes with everything you're telling me.
You are not. Because it's not even my evidence. It's
I know, and it's false evidence. I mean, it's just
false evidence.
Okay, even if it's true evidence.
DNA
There's,
is
there's
not false evidence. It's one of the most
That's
again.
why he was
humanized
throwing his
What?
pieces of
trash in
evidence
So in other
other
words,
that you
people's
can have
trash
in a
can.
court of law, Howard.
but you have sterile sex.
It can prove guilt and innocence. I mean, it's that
Guilty. He was
simple.
having sex.
He
They
was
didn't
not.
say semen. They did
It was
not say
blood.
semen, not one time.
And
DNA
then
can
it's
be
called a
blood,
condom.
blood, or
Menstrual
saliva.
cycle. Menstrual
Listen,
cycle.
listen, I need you to stop and think about this for a moment. If you're stabbing somebody and you are literally putting a knife in them and pulling the knife out of them, what is the likelihood of you harming yourself while stabbing 4 people? Some of which were fighting you while you were stabbing them.
That's
Okay.
how he
Did he
probably
did he
got
have any marks
blood.
on him? Did he have any
I don't know. You
cuts?
don't
Not
shut the
scratches.
hell up long enough for me
Cuts.
to read all this to tell you. I'm just
Sex.
saying, again, NC-17.
Sex.
This is
And I'm
used
being
before
NC-17. You're the one's going off the handle. I don't know what's your
I'm,
problem.
I'm Howard is on my nerve, and I only got one. So anyhow, you have to admit that the likelihood of harming yourself while stabbing someone is great, especially if you're
Okay,
stabbing
right.
4 people. So
Right.
blood evidence, which is DNA, it has nothing to do with sex, was probably what DNA they're speaking of. He
Yes.
probably cut himself while stabbing the victims. Now, do I know that?
Did they get that shit off his back? Because that's probably where it came from.
What are you talking about?
So she was lying.
Howard! Oh,
It came from the knife he used.
Do they have a knife?
Yes.
Is it fingerprints on it? Was it
Yes.
that the victim's blood's on it?
Yes.
yes, and his.
And his.
Well, he can't help if he picked up a knife out the yard and threw it in a garbage can.
It
Where
was
did
in
the
the
blood come from?
house.
And it was in the house with the victims. And it matched the DNA in the
He
trash
could have had
can
that
at his
glove. He could have
parents'
had
house.
that. He could have had that knife making himself a peanut butter jelly sandwich in that house. And the murderer came in there and took that knife and used that same exact knife. And if he had gloves on, his fingerprints are going to be on it. I was making me a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Crunchy.
With a sheath knife.
Why not?
Why would you use that to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Because you got 4 women living in a dorm, and Lord knows they're not going to be buying utensils.
I cannot. Howard, with as big as this house is and as nice as this house looks, I'm sure they had utensils in there.
I'm sure they probably had the
I'm
sporks.
just saying.
I'm just saying, too.
Anyways, back to this that I'm reading. Investigators checked movements of Koberger's phone. It stops reporting signal at 2:47 a.m. and appears to be turned back on at 4:48 a.m. Now, couple this with the fact that they said that the murders occurred in between 4 and 4:25 a.m. I'm just throwing that out there. How convenient that the phone was shut off so it couldn't pick up on any towers while the murders were occurring. Has nothing to do with sex, because we all know that you can have sex and your phone still be on. How do we know? Because you've called me in the middle of it. Anyway, I'm not listening to you, Howard.
I'm just saying, there's reasonable doubt.
No, there isn't.
There's not enough reasonable doubt in my
You only
opinion.
need one thing to show one cause of reasonable doubt.
Even if there's reasonable doubt, if the guilty outweighs the reasonable doubt, he can be convicted.
But there's still reasonable doubt. There has to be no reasonable doubt. That's the way the court system works.
On a jury, absolutely.
That's the way the court system works. I am sorry to tell you that, but if you have one shred of reasonable doubt, just like if the glove don't fit, you got to acquit. That's it.
I cannot. We are not arguing the O.J. Simpson trial. That was
That's
1994.
That's the terminology you can use. If there's one shred of reasonable doubt, then it has to be.
There was.
We all know
No,
that
there
O.J.
wasn't.
did it. We all know that O.J. did it. And
How
Kato
you know?
Wilson.
How you know?
Oh my God! Did you not watch that trial?
Yeah, I
Yes.
did.
You don't think that he did it? Him
It's
and
not for me to say
Kato?
what I think or don't nothing.
See, you don't want to say it because you know that he and Kato both had something to do with it.
You
You
think
think
Michael
Kato has
Jackson?
something to do with it?
I think Kato's the one who did it, to be honest with you,
Listen
but
to
that's
that.
besides the point.
This movie thinks Michael Jackson was molesting kids.
It's
I
too
am not getting on that topic. No,
why you just threw me out underneath the bus?
I'm not. I'm not. Jason's wanting me to open a whole can of, oh Lord, not.
And I guess Lorraine Bobbitt didn't cut off your boy John Wayne Bobbitt's penis either.
He did. She did.
She did, and she admitted she did it. She
That's the
told
only
her
reason. That's the only reason why
friend
she went to jail, because she was stupid.
Women power.
Because she was
That's
stupid.
right. Jackie.
Hey, this is not NC-17. For y'all children's out there, Chrissy is showing diamonds upside down.
Like a rock. Big as it could be.
Cannot. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. That's right, girl power. Oh, I cannot. Well, now that y'all seen us get our argument on, oh, she said Kato definitely covered up. But back to Idaho. Did you see his sister was in a horror movie? What?
Whose
No.
sister?
Apparently the murderer, I'm assuming. I think OJ's son did it. No, I think Kato. Him and Kato. I think
What
Kato
was the
wore
name
that
of the
rug.
horror movie?
What horror movie are you talking about? And whose sister?
It was
The
the
one
last movie that
murder?
Kato starred in.
If the club don't, you must have quit.
Gabriel
right.
said OJ is guilty as hell. Yes, he was.
I don't see how y'all got Caleb,
Kato.
Kato involved in this.
Because he was
Listen,
best friends and he
listen.
did anything that OJ told him to
Listen,
do.
if the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
I cannot.
Wasn't
Stop
that the
it.
saying?
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
You know what?
This
I'm
is
ouch.
Look what they're doing now. I see yellow all across those comments.
Exactly.
Chickens. Dude, go do that in front of your wives. And knock it out. Man power.
Jason's getting it after the show.
See?
And not in a good way.
The
I'm just
Idaho
saying.
guy's sister. I can't think of the name, but it was eerie similar.
That's all he has to do. Jason just has to go to the closet and become Batman. That's all I'm saying.
For what?
Stop it. Stop it. Coward.
Batman?
Jackie, just let it go. Just
Look,
what he just said.
they got Jason. We got you, Jason.
Well, Raymond, I'm a long drive from you, buddy. You better start driving now. Because I think you probably a 5-hour drive from me, sir. Maybe 6.
Now, if he gets the Batcopter.
Oh my God.
I cannot. The Idaho's guy's sister, I can't think of the name, but it was so the movie that she was in, The Murders, was similar to the murders that he committed. I don't have to see you drive, buddy.
Seriously, you abused that poor guy. Oh my God, look.
I do not.
You don't see him around
That's his
Chrissy no
car.
more, do you? He's
That's
scared.
he's
He's sitting
probably
there
on it.
eating Cookie Crisp cereal.
That's how worried he is about it.
2 Days Black from 2011 was the movie.
2 Days Black.
I don't think I saw that movie.
Me neither.
All I'm saying is that they only need one piece of evidence. Well, I mean, they can have all the evidence could be damning, but if they got one piece of that shows reasonable doubt, it's thrown out.
Well, they don't, and he's got
I
blood.
mean,
He's got blood on a knife, and the phone records show
they
where
can
he
have
was
that.
at.
They can have it all.
His
They can have it
car
all.
was at the scene because they put a video and saw the car at the scene at that time during the murder.
So in other words, I can't go driving up and down somebody's street.
It wasn't driving up and down. I believe it said it was seen parked there at the house.
Yep.
So I can't park on the side of the road.
There's
Plus,
a
they have
driveway. There's a driveway. You gonna park in somebody's driveway? You don't even know who they are.
No, they just said it was parked. Okay, they didn't say, and it was parked. How many times was it parked?
Well, the aerial views that I saw, people didn't park on the street. They were parked in driveways.
Exactly, Chad. They found a car like his. Now, how many Hyundai Electras are out there that are white? I'm sure they made more than just one.
Oh, I'm sure there is too. But his DNA at the crime scene and a car that he drives found at the crime scene as well, or seen at the crime scene as well.
That's why he was taking his garbage and throwing it in the neighbors.
Because he couldn't afford to pay the garbage bill.
Joshua Dixon. He was stalking for weeks. It's all documented. See?
It don't matter. If I'm sleeping with some girl living in there, yeah, I'm going to be parked out in front of her house.
Nobody said that he was having relations with any female in there.
But nobody said he wasn't either.
He didn't even go to
Nobody said he wasn't either. Nobody said he wasn't having an affair either.
The same university that they did.
And
but he was friends on Facebook with one of them.
Which one? Do we know?
The one that at first they said, I think it was Kaylee. That's her name. The one they said that got stabbed the worst. That they thought maybe she was the target one.
And yeah, that's probably who the one he was sleeping with.
The one that they said somebody was stalking her. Yeah.
That's possible. That's
possible. He was sleeping with her. That's right.
We are not going to victim shame here, sir. We are not going to say that she was having relations with this person who was apparently stalking her. No.
Could have been. Could have been. He might have made an advancement and was rejected. Maybe said something and hurt his feelings. They said that girls used to do things to him and made him feel bad. So maybe he talked to her and she ignored him.
Sleeping with a guy and said, "Oh, you got a little penis." You don't know what that is. I mean,
exactly. He was stalking her.
No, exactly. That's right. Possible.
Okay, but is it more likely?
There's doubt. It's doubt.
Because she's the one.
Doubt in anything.
Howard, would you answer me this honestly? Give me a reasonable explanation why he would have DNA on scene, regardless of what it was. He was in that area where it was happening at. I mean, I understand what you're saying. There's always that possibility. There's too many factors that are circumstantial, that are non-circumstantial, that are hard physical evidence. That's like saying, if I was in your home, I killed your old lady, your kids, right? And they find a gun in your house. Then it's got my fingerprints on it, my DNA on an object that come from the scene that was involved with the situation. Is there any doubt in your mind that I was not the shooter of your family?
Again, that could have been a gun that was stolen out of your house and used in the murder. It could have been a number of things.
You are.
Now, as for DNA evidence, if he was sleeping with one of those girls and she didn't want nobody else to know about it, I'm being serious about that. She is not going to
I
tell
wouldn't
them.
say sleeping, okay?
Okay,
He was.
Howard, listen. How many
That's not.
females do you have on your Facebook? If you
I
had to
don't
guess,
know. I
just
don't know.
give me a number.
I don't know. I got like 5,000 people on my Facebook
Okay,
page. I
so
don't know how many.
let's just make a guess that or assumption that 2,500 out of that 5,000 are female. Okay.
Half. Okay.
Okay. So because you have those female friends and one of those female friends are one of these four victims, does that imply that you were having relations with her because you were friends with her on Facebook? No. No. Not at
I'm
all.
gonna tell you this too. The police definitely went through his phone. They went through every conversation. If he was talking to a girl at that place and a relationship enough for him to keep going back there would have been evidence of phone conversation inside of his
Well,
phone.
that's why I think they're saying that he was a stalker because he probably reached out to her and she shut him down because just because you're friends with somebody on Facebook doesn't mean that you're even really friends or on an intimate sexual relationship type deal was the whole point. And Facebook is known for getting people to become stalkers for people on their friends lists.
But then again, she could have been. She liked the guy and didn't want to have nothing to do. She didn't want her friends to know about it because that's how girls are. Women are. They'll sit down there and they'll and well, he's not good enough for you, and he's not good enough for you. But maybe she thought, well, that's the love of my life or whatever, and he brought him in, and they had intercourse or whatever. Of course, it's going to be DNA all over.
Name forward if his life was on fucking.
Exactly. He wouldn't be calling himself Adam
Fuck
or
no. He would
whatever.
be saying, man, I was fucking with this girl over there. That's the fuck I was doing over there.
And he would be saying, hey, we were having a relationship. He
Maybe
wouldn't.
that hadn't come out yet. Maybe that hasn't came out yet.
If you're being accused of murder and you were truly in an intimate relationship, even if it was a hit it and
But the
quit,
police won't release a lot of details of a murder case.
Howard,
They didn't at first, but
you are
they
reaching
did give
at
away some
nothing.
stuff.
They give away some things, but they don't give away everything.
Well, no,
Maybe
they're
that's
not
one of the things they're not.
They're not
Because they're trying to
everything.
prosecute. Once again, the prosecutor's looking for a conviction.
My dude's pushing to get found guilty.
Exactly. Jason's right.
Either
He's
get life or
fixing
death on it.
exactly life or death.
He ain't coming from under that.
What you think he's gonna get?
Death.
I'll put him in a white Bronco.
Not with as bad as what he did that girl.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put him in a white Bronco.
Joshua Dixon said, yes, they pinged his cell phone several times prior to and after the murders around the home.
Yep.
If again you're banging one of the girls, and if you're remorse, and if
nobody said that they were having any type of relationship.
But they didn't say they wasn't either.
Isn't this the one who has the boyfriend who was also murdered? Isn't that the one?
Wait, what?
Kaylee was the one who had the boyfriend who was there who was also murdered.
No.
Correct?
So
No.
I thought
She was in the.
That's the problem with
She should
people
been
nowadays.
in the
It's
room
automatically
with the other
you hear,
girl.
You hear what
They
the
were
media
best
puts out
friends.
there. You hear what the media. This is what I'm trying to say. That you hear what the media puts out there. Okay, and we didn't went through this shit before in the past. Everybody believes what the media puts out there. Everybody believes what social media puts out there, but they don't think for themselves.
Joshua said no, they were just friends.
Exactly.
And you say he's just a friend, and you say he's
But
baby, you.
Okay, then let's put it this way. Okay, they were just friends, but maybe he had a crush on her or something because she got the worst end of it.
Okay, and then that's again like what Steven
compared
said.
to the other ones.
Then what's a hit it and quit it?
Steven, you know what a hit it and quit it is. Don't play with me. I was trying to be socially appropriate on a show that we usually don't even cuss on.
How you say you already attempted to murder me 4 times already?
Well, I mean, there's witnesses, so I won't do that. I've heard that from an ex before. We're just friends. Sometimes they don't tell everyone. Well, no, and I'm
Yes,
not saying
true.
that. Yes, I'm sure there's evidence that they have that we are not aware of. We
Right.
won't find that out till discovery point, and the defense attorney gets that information. Then they take it before the judge, and the judge says it's admissible or inadmissible before at the pretrial hearing, and all that gets worked out because not all evidence can be put in, typically speaking. So we don't know everything yet. But
No, we
what
don't.
I'm saying with what we do know and what we have read and what we have seen, it
So
would appear.
you cannot say he's guilty if you don't have all the evidence in.
Why can't
That,
I? Why can't I?
I'm saying he's innocent.
Okay, you can say he's
You can
innocent.
say that, but he's guilty
Exactly.
How do you know he's guilty? Then again,
Exactly.
because
y'all
they
are
have
How do you know the
evidence.
sky is blue?
Who?
Did you hear Jason?
Nope.
How you know the sky is blue?
It just
Because
is.
because my mama told me,
Well, we telling you that he's guilty.
and I'm saying he's not because you know what? I don't think the sky is blue.
Okay, so let's take a poll. Let's take a poll. Everybody in the comments before we end the show, just one word: guilty or innocent. What do you think, based on all the information given?
Netflix
I
and
can,
chillax.
I cannot. Steven.
One word: guilty or innocent. Come on, y'all.
I don't say he's guilty. I don't say he's innocent. But
Yo-yo, guilty.
y'all automatically coming out saying that he's guilty.
And threw the knife at him. 4 people were murdered, Chad.
Well, it can't help but ricochet.
A knife does not ricochet. No,
Guilty.
you are not. This is
Two
not a
guilty.
bullet. No.
And y'all have all the evidence in front of you saying that man is guilty.
Slingshot boomerang knife.
So we got 2 guilties.
I want Gabriel and I want Joshua to tell me and give me the freaking evidence. I want to see the evidence. I want to see it all. I want to see everything for you to say he's guilty.
We're not the prosecuting attorney. We can't give you all the evidence yet, so you can't say that, Howard.
You can't say he's guilty either.
The hell if I can't?
And then the hell I can say he's innocent.
Guilty, 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 guilty.
Innocent, 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 innocent.
Guilty.
Innocent.
Guilty.
Innocent.
Guilty.
Steven said, "Sorry, but I'm not going to judge until all the evidence is presented."
Exactly.
Oh my God!
Exactly.
Joshua said his eyes tell everything. That's right. And who else was?
That's it.
Was
There it
the
is.
murderer? Wasn't it?
Listen, I don't know how much you know about the criminal justice system,
There
Chad.
it is. Even Jennifer Lee's in there. Look.
Let me tell you. It is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but 99% of the time, you're guilty until you're proven innocent, and you're treated as such. And anybody that tells me otherwise is full of shit.
I'm sorry. Just by knowing that there was something at the crime scene and it had blood on it, and they traced that back to him,
Again, another one.
he's guilty.
There you go, Reggie. Ashley. Anthony.
Wow.
You cannot say a person's guilty without all the evidence being in there. You cannot say. Well,
I can, and I have.
You're prejudiced.
He's guilty.
You can call me prejudiced. That's
you're
okay.
Prejudiced.
Okay. Jason says I'm prejudiced against white people.
She always want to blame me. She picked the white guy out in the room. I know
That's
it's
what I said.
I told her I'm gonna call Jesse Jackson and NAACP on him.
The FBI traced the blood, traced the car, traced the phone. They did everything.
And how many times you've seen? Wait a minute, but they have to.
I don't care if you don't have trash service. Why did he throw the trash?
You can trace it, but how many times you get evidence out there that's been tainted?
And they went and grabbed that trash and found DNA to match what was at the crime scene.
You know what?
Why was he?
Tainted evidence is typically evidence where you got drug busts or people that they want to bust and they can't catch them in the act, so they plant evidence on them. Now, you're not
Okay,
gonna
wait, what's
plant
the difference between
you're
what's going
not
on
gonna
now?
plant his DNA. He's not a damn drug dealer.
No, he's a murderer.
And he's
Exactly. Thank you. You just
yes.
said it. You just
Yep.
said
Yeah,
it.
that's
Thank
what you're
you.
saying. He's a murderer.
Thank
You're
you.
saying
No,
he's a murderer.
you said it.
You're saying he's a drug
You
dealer.
said it. I said I did not say that. Shut up, Howard.
No, it wasn't. They already said it wasn't.
Did you ever
And
think
he
it was
tried and
somebody
she
else?
tried calling her ex and he wouldn't answer the phone. He was sleeping.
I heard the whole thing was behind heroin.
I cannot.
No, it wasn't. Stop
Why not?
it.
They didn't
This
just
is
prove it.
serious.
They
That
didn't
was a
just
fucking
prove
meth
it.
lab bust that went wrong. That's all
Yeah,
it was.
they didn't just prove
I'm
it.
sorry.
It's
I've
real.
been reading the articles. I've been listening to everybody on all the stations about this, and he's guilty. I'm sorry. That's my saying.
I cannot.
So what you say, Chrissy? Guilty or innocent?
I with what I've seen thus far, if I had to wager one way or the other, I would say guilty. Now, if more evidence is presented and it brings logical, reasonable doubt, then I may change my mind. But at this point, based on everything that
You
they
only
have,
need one part, one piece of it.
Howard,
What he's saying is, you
I
only
get
got
what
the
you're
head.
saying.
You
I
ain't
got a lot of
So what I'm
Oh.
saying from my personal opinion and my
And
perspective,
I've poked enough holes in this thing where you can sit down there and you have to think, well, maybe that's just think
no,
rationally.
you
Think about
didn't.
maybe
Listen,
maybe that did happen.
You could have took a machete and hit the damn boat with it and sunk that sucker, and I would still say guilty at this point.
If I was in the boat and a machete hit it, I said, then when that thing I drove over it.
Well, I mean, run over it with a Mack truck. I don't care. What I'm
There's
saying
different
is,
versions, there's different stories to every story.
I get that, but I'm not seeing anything that would lead me to believe that he did
And
not.
the prosecution is the only thing they're doing is coming at, they're just throwing out what they think would, yeah, he did this, he did that. Okay, list the things he didn't do. Have you ever heard any of that? No. That's waiting for the day of the trial.
Not. Stephen, for you to even say that, you have no idea what I've dealt with the criminal justice system. So you're way
just
off.
like that show I just saw. It was something
You're
six.
way
It was
off
something
on
six. I forgot the name of it. It was up in Wyoming. Well, I think it was Wyoming. It happened, and it was a Wyoming. I'm going to say Wyoming. 6 people got convicted. 2 of them, or 3 of them, served 10 years. They served their prison term out, and they wound up acquitting all 6 of them because it was bullshit. Because the prosecutor.
I'm not saying that innocent people don't go to prison, and let me be firm on this, okay? So just so everybody's clear, not that I put personal business out there very often, but I have somebody who I loved and cared about who was wrongly convicted and spent 5 years incarcerated. And I walked through that entire trial and that entire freaking investigation with him. So do I know how wrong the
no. They definitely deserve to go to prison. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. This guy deserves to go to prison.
I do know how wrong the criminal justice system can be.
And how can it not be wrong against this guy right now?
Because he's got the look.
Oh, because he's got a look. You know what? You got that look. I want to get on the Causeway Bridge in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I hear that, right? So if something happens to me, I'm off that Causeway Bridge, it's all because of Howard.
Get that insurance.
I got it.
Chrissy, you need to get insurance on
they have
Jason.
DNA evidence. His DNA on the murder weapon at the scene. His car at the scene.
And DNA has never been wrong before.
At the scene.
DNA has never been wrong before.
That's right. And they got his DNA from the knife at the crime scene.
DNA has never been wrong before. That's my question.
That's right. He just said it.
Wrong.
DNA is not
wrong. The prosecutor has been wrong. They prosecuted the man wrongly they used something in evidence and sold their opinion to a jury on a certain way to make the jury persuade. That's why a trial attorney is so important. It's not necessarily whether you're right or wrong. It's can you persuade that jury into seeing it from his point of view. That's what made people like Johnny Cochran and the Kardashian guy and all them people so great. Their legal teams were amazing, but it was their ability to stand up in trial and box out with the DA.
I
Exactly,
don't see it.
Raymond. Exactly. Exactly.
Again, peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my god.
Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time.
In the show, Howard.
Okay,
We're
thank
past
you y'all
time.
for joining us on Hey Boo. We will see y'all next week. Have a good week, everybody. Bye.
No, no, no. He's innocent.
Not gonna run away